I'm not
He's not using PowerPoint. Well, they can use that to shoot down anybody.
sure.
That,
Right.
To get people's attention.
yeah.
And this is Dos Equis, or what is it?
So what is the this phone here? I mean,
This one here.
Okay, thank you.
And somewhere in here, you can adjust it for his level.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's, yeah, just talk to him.
All right, let me get you.
We can always bring them a little down, so.
Okay.
Oh, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back from lunch break. Again, the 36th Annual Cancer Control Society Convention in Universal Sheraton Hotel, Universal City, California. We're certainly happy to have you. Our next speaker is Dr. Tom Lodi. He's a medical doctor, started his professional career as a clinical psychologist, went back to medical school, and then he and I first met somewhere around 10 years ago in Japan. He was doing some work, practicing some medicine over there, came back to New York, and now located in Arizona. And very happy to have him, and he's talking about healing cancer from the inside out. Dr. Lodi, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. I'm always struck when I walk around conventions such as this and even in shopping malls. And what I see is that there seems to be an adoration for the inventiveness and intelligence and arrogance of man, of humanity. And it's as if humanity is at war against nature. And so you see such essays as Man versus Nature. But the strange thing is, if all of us were to simultaneously step off the Empire State Building, we would each fall at 32 feet per second squared, and we would hit the ground at the same time at a very predictable velocity because we are subject to natural laws, because we are nature. Okay, so here we are looking for ways to improve it, to change it, and it won't work. It doesn't work. It has never worked. If you cut your hand real deeply, and you go to the surgeon, the most the surgeon can do is approximate the edges, bring it together. You have to heal it. The surgeon doesn't heal it. So when I hear someone say, he was a fantastic surgeon, look at my scar. He healed you? Is that not arrogant? Okay, so we need to be very careful. We need to understand where we are. What gets in our way is our minds. And we always, now if you look around, you're going to find there are many, many gimmicks. Some people may have read a book years ago. It was written, I think it was first published in 1909 by Dr. Tilden, called Toxemia Explained. And in there, I'm going to paraphrase, but in there he says, man has always been looking for a savior, and when not looking for a savior, he's looking for a cure. He's always looking to get something for nothing. Okay. And rather than begging, borrowing, stealing, or trying to purchase a cure, wouldn't it make more sense to stop building disease? Anyway, that's what I would like, that's kind of the theme of what I would like to talk about, is what Dr. Tilden talked about and Hippocrates talked about. And we all have seemed to have forgotten about it. And we all got, here's the cure. There is no the cure. Okay? Disease is because of the violation of natural laws. I mean, the diseases that we have. So, in our clinic in Arizona, we use many modalities. We use insulin potentiation therapy. I know you heard a great lecture on that. We use gene therapy. We use immunotherapy. We have the cancer tested in Korea by a oncologist, geneticist. He's able to do a genetic fingerprint of the cancer. It works very well, and we infuse the genes that seem to be out of balance, like P53, et cetera, like that. I mean, amazing things. We can get rid of malignant ascites within 7 days by injecting it through, a peritoneal catheter. So there's all kinds of really neat tricks that we have. We also use high-dose vitamin C. We use ozone peroxide. And we use colloidal silver quite often. We use it when people are neutropenic instead of antibiotics. You know, silver has been around and is part of nature. You know, it's being born with a silver spoon in your mouth had nothing to do with wealth, but rather health. Okay? So anyway, we have lots of things that we use. And when I look at people, I have two people walk in the door, and both of them have stage 3 breast cancer. One of them embraces the lifestyle changes. The other one doesn't. Guess who's still around in 2 years? So it doesn't matter how good anyone is at getting rid of cancer. If you don't stop making it, it's irrelevant. And if we have the audacity to use the word doctor before our names, then we should be teaching. Okay, so if we're teaching, what are we going to teach people? We're going to teach them how to stop building disease. That's what our real roles should be if we're doctors. Otherwise, we have to call ourselves what? Physicians. And open up treatment facilities where people come in and they say, "Hey, doc, here's my disease. Fix it. I'll be back in a month." That doesn't work, does it? Because the very premise is false. Okay, but every doctor that says okay to that has just entered into a false contract, which is actually mercenary. Because in their heart of hearts, they know that they're not doing what they should do, and what they should do is teach how to stop building disease. But the only way you can teach it is if you know it, and the only way you can know it is if you live it. And the only way you can live it is if you had learned it. So, and guess what? It is so complex, no one will ever figure it out. And you don't have to. Do you think I have to explain this to a dog? Do I have to explain this to a cat? To an elephant? No. Instinctively, they know. Animals are plugged into the wisdom of nature through a mechanism known as instinct, which we've had forcibly removed from us at the age of 2 days. Right? The first thing we learn is no, stop, don't. Do this, change, stay in here, don't, stay away from that life form, stay away from that life form. So what happens is that we start symbolizing the world in our minds, and it's called culture, enculturation. And if you're Chinese, you think you've got the best one, and if you're Italian, you think you have the best one. And the truth is they're all abominations, because they all take you away from nature. Why is that an abomination? Because we are nature, and that's the beginning of the lie that leads us down this path where here we are looking for cures. So is it not better to stop building disease? Of course it is. Does anything else work? No. George Burns smoked cigars until the age of 100. Should I recommend it? Because people will always say, yeah, but my uncle did this. My grandfather did this. That's a testament to nature, to God. In spite of everything they did, they still made it to 100. Imagine if we didn't. Imagine if we lived according to the laws of nature. Now, did you ever wonder why it is that we have, if you go to medical school, you have to memorize books that are 8 inches thick? We're trying to figure out all the reasons that we die and get sick. And wild animals who have no intercourse with humans, no interface with humans, die from less than 10 diseases. Why is it? Why is it that 200, 300, 500 animals can drink out of, in the forest can drink out of the same watering hole and not get sick, and here we are sterilizing our water and drinking it out of bottles, and we're all getting sick? Did you ever wonder why that is? 1 out of 2 men